Enphase Energy battery-equipped systems featuring the IQ Combiner 6C include a useful system expansion option. Typically, this feature would be used when upgrading sites with pre-existing third-party or legacy Enphase solar systems. In the following, we'll review system expansion essentials that can improve designs and reduce installation errors. Not every configuration or detail is covered here. Be sure to review the latest documentation and training resources. Supported equipment includes most grid-tied third-party solar inverters. Legacy Enphase systems, including microinverters made before the IQ8 and 9 microinverters. Examples are the M215s, S230s, or D380s. If your site will include IQ6s or 7s, along with IQ8s or 9s, be sure to add a line filter in between the load controller input and the combined output of the previous system. When upgrading a site with pre-existing solar equipment, the site's solar system cannot include batteries, backup functions, or a generator. System expansion configurations that are supported include whole home, partial home, and grid-tied only. All of these sites are adding an IQ Combiner 6C, Enphase batteries, and likely new IQ8 or 9 microinverters. The maximum system expansion that can be connected to the IQ Combiner 6C load control input is a 15.4 kilowatt AC system. That's approximately 20 kilowatts DC. From a breaker perspective, this is an 80 amp breaker, or 64 amps continuous current. To ensure system stability during grid outages, there are PV to battery power ratios that must be observed. First, for the expansion system portion, battery AC output power must be equal or greater than the third-party or legacy solar system output. Another way to manage this is there must be a 1-to-1 ratio of battery power to solar power. As an example, if you had an existing 10 kilowatt AC solar system, you'd need at least 2 Enphase 10C batteries, as they deliver 7 kilowatts each. The question to review is, does this scenario have battery power that is equal or greater than the third-party or legacy solar power? Yes, 14 kilowatts of battery power is greater than 10 kilowatts of existing solar power, so the expansion sizing is okay. Next, or step 2, let's assume you're adding new IQ8 or 9 microinverters to your site. Additional review is needed. Enphase has provided PV to battery ratio tables. They're on pages 11 to 13 in the guide, Enphase Energy System Planning with IQ Battery 10C, 10CS, and IQ Combiner 6C. Please refer to the tables or your local Enphase specialist for assistance. Third-party and Enphase legacy solar output must be wired directly to the load control breaker. The load control breaker is in the middle right side in the IQ Combiner 6C. No other expansion wiring configurations are supported. With whole home backup configurations, it's your choice if the existing third-party or legacy Enphase system charges the new Enphase batteries. Be sure to check if your utility tariffs allow this. In California, NEM-MT or multi-tariff, rates are set up such that the existing solar system will not charge the new batteries, likely keeping your old contract intact. If you select other utility rates, the existing system will charge the new batteries when appropriate. When the grid is down, all available PV will be used to power loads and then charge the batteries. With partial home backup, most people still want whole home consumption monitoring for visibility and potentially more utility savings. In order to have whole home monitoring with partial home backup, You'll need to purchase 2 sets of consumption CTs, a total of 4. An installation detail is that you will remove the factory-wired CT terminations from the LC consumption CT header. We will not be using these built-in CTs. It's best to cap them with wire nuts. Then install 1 set of CTs at the main service and the second set at the load controller input, right where the wires land on the breaker. Next, splice the L1 CTs together, the L2s together, and wire them into the empty LC consumption header. This is a parallel connection of 2 sets of CTs. Partial home scenarios, which include whole home monitoring via external consumption CTs, have several limitations. When the grid is up, the older existing third-party or legacy system does not charge the new batteries. The energy flows to the loads or back to the grid. Additionally, the solar production measurements are not shown. If your partial home backup scenario requires that the older system charges the new batteries, do not install whole home monitoring. Rather, monitor and configure only the backup protected portion of the site. In either configuration, the pre-existing system does charge batteries during a grid outage. With a grid-tied only system, 4 CTs or 2 sets of consumption CTs are required. Here's a visual of the 4 CTs added. The CTs are wired to the revised CT header. The third-party legacy solar cannot be used to charge batteries and is not separately monitored. Some additional notes with system expansions on an IQ Combiner 6C. Be sure that the system is correctly commissioned with required details and has the PV input feature enabled, rather than load control modes. Items may need to be reconfigured from the previously installed system. This can include reconnecting CTs on a whole home scenario, wiring to and from the solar system output, in some cases through a line filter if needed. Some systems may need to be recommissioned to enable all of the features. Make sure to select the correct load control modes and the appropriate utility rate tariffs. Thank you.